Well, howdy everyone, Cowy, your average sim racer here. We are back for round 4 of season 2 2025 for the V8 Supercars. And we are at Mid-Ohio. This is a tricky little track to get right. Very much a roller coaster style track like Oran Park. And it's got lots of elevation changes that sort of give it that extra, level of difficulty, I suppose. Now, as usual, we are on the VRS race setup, so I don't know if we'll put in times near some of these quick boys. At the moment, I think I've done a few laps here in the session, and I'm still at the bottom of the session, about 2 seconds off the pace. So the quick guys, Cowy, Tom and Ryan, they're getting down into the 124s, almost 124 flats. I'm thinking somewhere in the 26s, and if you get a lap right, I might nail a 25, probably more likely in quali, but we'll see how we go. Now, one of the things you will find too is your first lap around here, you're probably not going to have the tyres up to temp to start it, so just take a little bit easy, try and set up this first corner so you can get over to the right, so you can really sort of apply as much acceleration as possible. Alright, coming into T1, we're looking to brake probably just at the 200. Going back to 4th, you're trying to trail in so you can get back on the gas and accelerate on exit there. And I just got a little bit of a slide. That's what I meant by the tyres not quite being there. Braking just inside the 3 hats. Back to 3rd. Try and double apex this corner. Because if you can get on the gas nice and early there, you get a good run out of here. Shorten the track. Up here, the fence sort of ends in the richest hats. I'd go for a break probably just about halfway between the two, maybe a little bit more towards the wall. Stay in 3rd, try and get close there so you can apply it. Watch for the rear to kick out on you. We're staying in 3rd through all of this bit. And then short shift to 4th here, because I find it just allows me to get on the gas a bit harder. And then get floating out to that curving, back to 3rd. Try and get in tight so you can apply acceleration straight, because you can see the car there wanting to get light as it comes over the top. Alright, then we're braking about 250, back to 4th, try and get close to that curb so you can apply gas. And then as that curb ends, you're going back to 3rd and trying to stay over to the right here to finish a lap of Mid-Ohio. Now it looks like, I think in the international and the American server, there's about a 30% chance of rain, or 29%, something like that. So we will do a wet component to this track. You see that I did a 26.4, and that's about 1.9 off the leaders. We'll get a bit of run, a bit of double apex there, and get on the gas a bit earlier. Still trying to work out the car there, but you've got to be really careful. You can brake hard into it because it's all uphill, but then you've got to modulate everything over the top. Alright. Be careful not to go too deep here. It looks like you can go deeper at the corner, but you really want to be mid for this part because you need to stay tight here. It's really easy to float wide there. And as you can see, I've got a little bit of sort of step out on the rear of the car. Oh, that's... Actually not bad in that sector. I think this is the sector where we're losing all the time on the quick guys. The car just wants to slide on me there. Alright, we'll do one more lap. Bring it into the pits. And then we can look at the really scary part. Trying to drive this track in the rain. A bit early there with my turn in, but what you're trying to do is, really get a fast line through there. Well, this corner here is trickier than it looks. That's better. just got out on the grass there. That probably cost us another tenth.
Sector 1 is 0.8 off the pace.
Boys are starting to build up some good pace around here. They're really quick guys. I don't profess to be super quick. Also, this is set up on race fuel, not quali. Okay.
Sector 2 is 0.2 off the pace.
That's the bit there. It just gets so light. You want to put the power down, but the car keeps wanting to slide on you. Same thing there. Easy to go wide. All right, now looking for it. Instead of going tight, we're looking to come in over here, and we're going back to second because it's really easy to go deep there and tag the wall. So, you know, that's probably one of those pit entries that it's, if you go in too hard, you're just going to bounce off the tyre walls and damage your car. So I'd be maybe one to take a little bit more caution at. All right. All right, guys, we'll stick around. We will get a wet session fired up. I might have to create one and see how we do around here in the wet. Howdy everyone, Cowy back. As you can see, it's
All clear on pit exit. You can push now.
started raining in this American server. It's a wet track, so we're not seeing big rooster tails or anything in my mirrors, so it's only lightly wet. But as you can see there, like that, just cold rubber, slippery already. And already sort of struggling to get the power down. See there, you know, the car feels like it's floating at times. So, you know, I think it's going to be an interesting week, I think, for the guys that race in the American server. I have been meaning to try and do a few of those races because they're in the morning for me around here, but I keep missing them because I'm a musician. It's illegal for me to get up too early. Not that they're too early, I suppose they're normally about 10, 11 o'clock my time. I just keep forgetting about them. Alright. Now, I suppose the key to the wet around here is tiptoeing, trying to stay off the rubber where we can. But definitely also staying off the curbs. Alright. Right, here we go. So here you can get up on the curb normally. But this time we're just going to take it a little bit, stay off it. Try and find somewhere we've got a bit of grip. See there, as soon as I tried to apply some throttle, I'm going to brake out the 3, so I'm just bringing my brake markers probably forward a metre or two. Just a little bit too aggressive on the throttle there. And same thing up here, so instead of braking halfway between the end of the wall and the winches hats, I'm probably going to brake out the wall this time. Try not to get up on the curb. Be careful with those inputs when you're trying to turn the car. I mean, at the moment, because the rain sort of, there's no puddles and that, you can probably take pretty close to the normal racing line and what you would normally do. But just remember those curbs are going to be slippery, like probably stay up that outside curb. There, stay up the inside curves. Whereas I've been trying to sort of get up and close on that one in the dry, I think you want to stay away from it in the wet. Same thing here. But for the most part, because it's only lightly raining at the moment, you're able to sort of take the rubbered line. It's not getting super slippery just yet. Now, of course, I am on a wet setup, but I must admit the gloominess makes it hard to see that apex there because you normally follow on the lines. Don't know why I went up to 6 then. But just breaking that a little bit earlier is giving me a good amount of confidence through there. And see, without wheel spin, we're already, you know, almost 3/4 of a second quicker. And I mean, that's what it comes down to. It comes down to a sort of avoiding that wheel spin. And you know, anytime you're sliding, you can see there again. So maybe the big braking areas, that's where you're going to maybe look to brake on the inside where there's lots of rubber. Sorry, on the inside where there's not as much rubber, I should say. But whereas I'd cut that corner normally, I'm going to stay away from it in the wet. So gentle with those inputs.
Okay, Andrew, I've seen a few spots of rain. Seems to be increasing.
Alright. Easy to slide wide there. Be careful when you get out on the grass because, you know, it's slippery on the wet on the tarmac. The grass is going to be even slipperier. But you can see that, just an extra bit of lap temperature, and even though I made a big mistake, it was still like 0.6 or 0.7 quicker than the lap before. And I think, you know, you're going to find the quick guys will probably be down near the minute 30, 31s or something like that. I'm going to be happy if I'm doing 34s to 32s, I think, in this sort of weather. But again, really, when you get a race like this, unless you really find you've got pace, it's going to be more about survival. Right, we'll bring it around and bring it into the pits. As you can see, it doesn't seem to be too much different in the wet. Just break up the inside there. That was a little bit better. It certainly wasn't as slippery. And I mean, they're the sort of things you're going to be looking. I mean, we're obviously going to have good rooster tails now and this sort of stuff. But, you know, when you're in traffic and trying to follow other cars, that's really when you're going to be looking for other lines and where you can make moves. Like again there in the dry, you get right out wide and use all the curbing. I think in the wet, we're going to stay well away from that. The same principle as in the dry. You're just staying a bit wider to go into the pits, and I'm going to go back to second and get that a bit better than I did in the dry version. Alrighty. Well, there it is, guys. Quick look at Mid-Ohio. By no means am I the fastest around here. I think this is a really tricky track. I mean, because it's a bit shorter than the normal tracks, you know, the margin's going to be smaller. So I'm probably closer to 3 seconds off the pace of the quick guys.
Rear left, 92.
Okay, so still some tyre wear in the wet, but remember when we did go out at the start, it only just started raining. Alright, well, I hope you are enjoying the content here. If you are, please give me a like and subscribe. But there's a look at Mid-Ohio for week 4 of Season 2 2025. And hopefully we'll see you all out on track. Cheers.